inaugural meeting of the newly chartered Brown Club of Orange County. I'd like to thank in particular our board members who are here at the moment. Bob Brown, our new treasurer. Bob. Mark McReynolds is our BASC coordinator, which is everybody knows that means Brown Alumni School Committee, which is our interview organization. Julie Evans could not make it tonight, but she's our bylaws chair and is right now working on the bylaws so that we can have an official club organization legal charter and then get a bank account. Bamboo Dong is not here, but she is going to be our young alumni outreach coordinator. She's a grad student at UC Irvine, actually. I'd like especially to thank and to recognize Shauna Schaffner, our secretary pro tem. And my husband and life partner, also class of '79, Ed Miskovich. Especially both Shauna and Ed for being my support, for moral support as well as time over the past 2 years. Both of you have been very instrumental in helping me make Brown Club Orange County a reality, and I thank you greatly for that. Shauna, before I move on, would you like to say anything about school?
Thank you. Very briefly.
Take your time.
Thank you, Scott, and congratulations. This has been a huge effort for you, and it's already off to a great start. So, thank you. As you guys know, Brown Alumni Schools Committee is very important to Brown. Orange County has a huge and growing number of applicants every year. Last year we had over 700. We were the most in Southern California for any region. We also have the fewest number of alumni volunteers interviewing those students. So for all of our alums that are not interviewing right now, we would love it if you would get involved. We're going to have 2 interview days this year in January and February, so you can come out and meet some students, do some interviews for us. It's really a very fun day, and we try to make it as painless as possible. So if you're, it is pretty fun. If you're not volunteering now, I'm going to hit you up later, so expect an email from me. And thank you.
Well, if you're wondering how the Brown Club of Orange County came to be, I'm going to give you the Cliff Notes version, if those still exist, the Cliff Notes version of how it happened. A couple of years ago, I went through, let's just say, an involuntary change of employment, as have many Americans over the past few years. I eventually found a new position, but while I was looking around, I was casting about for ways to keep myself busy. And that's when I hit upon the fact that Orange County, a community of over 3 million people, did not have a Brown Club. We've had an alumni club of Southern California now for 33 some odd years since I've graduated. But I can count on my hand, as I was telling some of the folks here earlier, the number of times that we've actually had events that took place in Orange County that were focused on our community here. So I got involved with the Brown Alumni School Committee and met people through that. And I also became aware, 2 years ago, when I decided to do something about it, I became aware of an inter-Ivy alumni group called OC Ivy Plus. And I joined as the Brown representative on its board, not terribly democratic of me since I kind of appoint myself. So in addition to that, I started a Facebook group page, Brown Club of Orange County. Now I know some of you do not want to get involved in Facebook for good reasons, but nevertheless I do encourage you to check it out. You have to join Facebook in order to do it, but it is a great way to stay current on what we're doing, see what events we've had over the past 2 years and what we're planning on doing. So Brown Club of Orange County is our Facebook group page. But anyway, by getting involved in doing that, I started to invite members to join and attend some of the inter-Ivy events, such as the U.S. News Best Colleges Mixer, which we have right here every August. I don't know if any of you have been to that. Some of you I know have. A very well-attended event, over 100 people usually. And so we had a succession of increasingly well-attended social and cultural events over the past couple of years. We had Ira Glass here in Anaheim of This American Life, for those of you who know him, and a lot of other events that we've had. And through that, we started to get a little bit of a groundswell of support. And that kind of culminated this summer, and I think it was Sean, I think it was at your send-off party, if I remember correctly, where I passed around that petition.
The petition.
The infamous petition that we submitted to the Alumni Association in Providence, asking us for a charter for Orange County. And guess what? We were granted the charter. And so that's why we are now the New and Kristen Brown Club of Orange County. So if you are interested in becoming involved, whether you want to join the board or you just have ideas for events or anything whatsoever, I welcome your support and participation. Please see me afterwards, contact me anywhere you like, I can give you a card, whatever. So please get involved. So now I'd like to introduce our guest of honor, Professor John Tomasi. Professor Tomasi is Associate Professor, and by the way, just got off the plane from Providence, and has agreed to meet us anyway, so I thank you very much for that. I'm sure you I'm sleeping right now. But, Professor Tomasi is Associate Professor of Political Science and Director of the Political Theory Project at Brown. He received his BA from Colby College in Maine, your master's from the University of Arizona, and your doctorate degrees, plural, from Oxford, right? Okay. Professor Tomasi has had previous appointments at Princeton and Stanford universities, and his specializations are political theory, ethics, and public policy. Professor Tomasi will be speaking Friday at Chapman University on democratic legitimacy and economic liberty, but agreed to prepare a special presentation for our club geared specifically to our interests as members of the Greater Brown community. Tonight's talk will be Thinking Outside the Comfort Zone, a window on political discourse at Brown. When Professor Tomasi agreed to speak at our inaugural event, I had some trepidation about reading his book, Liberalism Beyond Justice, Citizens, Society, and the Boundaries of Political Theory.
You're a saint.
I actually highlighted it. Check this out. And, you know, it's been 30 plus years since my academic heyday, and the most demanding thing I usually read these days is business school. So this was a bit of an undertaking, but I did it. And you know what? As I began to read the book, I liked it. I actually liked it. And I realized that Professor Tomasi would be the perfect person to address our club this evening, because just as we in Orange County consider ourselves to be separate, distinct, and actually pretty different from Los Angeles, I think it's safe to say that John Tomasi's views are different from many of his colleagues at Brown. I actually found Liberalism Beyond Justice to be one of the most intellectually challenging and provocative books I have read since I was at Brown. Challenging because it is filled with terms such as eudaimonistic, is that the correct way of pronouncing it? Which for those of us who did not graduate cum laude in philosophy means the notion that happiness is the highest ethical goal. And provocative because Professor Tomasi challenges the core values of liberal ideology, an ideology which I like to think I subscribe to. In one of my favorite quotes in your book, you cite William Galston's warning of the danger not that children in modern liberal societies will believe too deeply in something, but that they will believe in nothing very deeply at all. That kind of resonated with me. As residents of Orange County, we are often challenged to explain where we stand on the continuum between conservatism and liberalism. I think Professor Tomasi will help give us a valuable perspective on this issue, and perhaps challenge us to reconsider some of our comfortable notions about political discourse at Brown University, as well as here in Orange County. Before we begin the presentation, please take a moment to switch your cell phones to silent before meeting. Thank you. And now please welcome Professor John Tomasi.
So, Brown students have this way of doing more than you expect when they're Brown students. So no surprise that even after they're Brown students, they also do more than you expect. My mother has read all my work in philosophy. Some of it was increasingly technical when I was in grad school, until it came to that book, and that's where she stopped. You've gone boldly.
I hope I'm going to get your signature on this. That's
yes.
my prize.
Maybe my thumbprint. I think I'll just go right into it. Which is great. So my colleagues at universities where I taught